Rotate device back. Here we are. Rotate and rotate. This one's not- Okay. This is gonna work. Says I'm live. All right. I'm live, but I can't see you. So that's right. I can't see you. Hi. Anyway, it's me. It's Tori. I just spent a wonderful night with my son. We celebrated Mother's Day today, and it was really, really nice. We really had a good time. Hi, love it. How are you? I just realized, oh yeah, that's right. I'm supposed to do a midnight with Magoo. It's so funny. I've because of everything that happened last night with DOA and just today, it's just been kind of a crazy day. Hi, City of Angels. Hi, Eric Levitt. Culver City. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's been a great day. It's really been fun. My son is well, first of all, I got all these gifts that Jay and his his chat, they sent me all I put up the wish list, and some of you guys sent me stuff and some of them sent me stuff, and it was just like I told my son, I said, don't get me anything because I have so many wonderful gifts. It's been like Christmas. It's way better than Christmas. I've never had a Christmas like this. It's just been outrageously great. So thank you to all of you and to everyone. It's just been amazing. So I had a wonderful time. I love my son, and we really had a good time. We we just went somewhere that we really like, so that was fun. And we just hung out together, and we've been watching this series, um, The Good Witch, on Netflix. And I don't know why, but both he's a writer and I love movies, and we both it's a long series, but it's really good. It's very well written. The acting is great. It's just really catchy. So we just watch a little bit each time we get together. And tonight a big thing happened. So that was good. So that was fun. Hi, musical magpie. Yeah, I think everybody's better today. I mean, last night was unbelievable. I know you guys saw all the different, you've probably seen many different videos of it, but it's just unbelievable. I mean, I know how bad Scientology is. They've been awful to me for 24 years. But this is a whole different level. I mean, to hire gangbangers to attack DOA who's barbecuing and giving out food. It was just unbelievable. I was just like, wow, this is a whole new level of it's a depth that I really didn't think they'd ever go to. I just didn't. I mean, it's awful. I know they're awful. I mean, it isn't like everyone in Scientology is awful because they're not. There's a lot of good people in Scientology, but the people that run it are awful. And they just don't know how to get it together. They don't. I just realized that last night. It's like they don't know how to get it together. That's it. And they're screwing up over and over and over and over and worse and worse and worse. And the worse it gets, the more of us come out because it's like there's more stuff to Yeah, it's definitely fair, new levels of fair game. That's right. That is 100% right, Sharon. And it's pathetic. It's like even the cop. They came about a week ago. I was with DOA on the other side of the street, and they came over and they said, you're interrupting their mass. And I was raised a Catholic, and Catholics are the only people who have mass. And I said, mass? Scientology is now saying they have mass? And he said, yes, and it's for 6 hours. And I said, okay, first of all, there is no 6 hour mass. And second of all, I told DOA, I said, trust me on this. They will start with their morning mass, but it's going to move into afternoon hours, late afternoon hours, evening hours. So it's basically all day and night. They're having mass and religious services, which they don't have religious services. Hi, Tori. Streamer Daniel from Salem. All right. Got the interview with Francoise Coster. Okay. It was good to hear her. Good. Okay. Good. Um, so I'm talking about DOA and what happened to him last night. Thank you very much for my happy Mother's Day wishes. Thank you. Um, and it just, I don't know. It was just unbelievable. So the policeman comes and I say, "Do you have any children?" And he says, "No," at the time. And I said, "Well, you will, and then you'll understand why we're really ticked off about this." But I said, "Are you a Catholic?" And he goes, "I am." And I said, "Okay, then you know." I was raised a Catholic, and I told him that. I said, "So you know there is no 6-hour mass. The Pope doesn't have a 6-hour mass." And he said, "Yeah, that's correct. That's not true." And, it was just one of those things where it was like, here's the policeman who knows they're lying, right? And yet he comes, they didn't do anything. He's filling out a little piece of paper. And I say, "What are you doing?" Like, here's a man really terrified for his life at the time. And you're filling out little paperwork. That's all you can do. You need to stay here and guard my friend because these guys might come back. This isn't beyond Scientology to bring them back and do it again. And he goes, "Well, we have to go." So they leave, right? And now some of the different people, Danny and a few others, got out in the street. I think Serge and Michael and a few others, and wrote a whole bunch of stuff in chalk, which were good messages, right? Scientology is a cult, and I don't know. I can't remember all of them, but they were good messages. And what happens? The stupid police come back, LAPD, and they go, "These are hate. This is a hate crime now." Because of these words in chalk. And we're like, the hate, you know, trashing all of DOA's barbecue, smashing it. All the hot dogs are on the street. You don't see that as a hate crime, but you see chalk and words as hate crime. That is bullshit. And I'm telling you, we have to go way higher up line than whatever is going on now, because this talking to the LAPD, forget it. They're not going to change anything. They're not. But if we go to the mayor and we carbon copy it, we should start highest up, which would probably be, I told you one time I wrote the president, carbon copied Mrs. Obama, sent it to the mayor, sent it a carbon copy to the police department and or some other departments that I was working with, and the senator. And I got a letter from the senator saying, "Here's the 3 checks we owe you. Please don't ever write the president again. If you need help, here's a form, and you can send it, and I'll try to help you." So that's the kind of stuff that we need to get onto. We really do. I know the perk was fake, but I still ate it. Okay. I don't know what that is. Good SP. Hello, Tori. Happy Mother's Day to you. Thank you, Good SP. Thank you very much. Thank you, Pip's mom. And thank you. Happy Mother's Day to any mothers that are on here. And if you are a mother and you don't have anyone to celebrate with, go celebrate with yourself. Do something nice for yourself. And if you have a mom, please call her. Or a really nice thing to do is write her some kind of a message. My son has done that for years, and I love it. It's like, rather than get any kind of a gift, something that is from his heart. That means way more to me than a piece of whatever. So that's what he does. So that was cool. And then we went out to eat. We drove around, and he got me some pretty flowers. And this was a good night. We watched our little series and talked and chatted. Just really enjoyed ourselves. So anyway, I'm amazed that DOA had to go through that, and everybody else. It just It's just not right. It really isn't. Oh, so you're really, really screwing up. Because here's what's happening. I mean, it's good for us because the more you do it, the more people come on. The more people are interested. Like, what? What happened to him? They see the hot dogs on the street. They're like, wait a second. You know, a picture's worth 1,000 words. So you see hot dogs on a street and you're like, what happened there? And, you know, even people who they might not necessarily be clued in, but all of a sudden now there's like, well, what's going on here? And they check it out. And we've gotten bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's really going worldwide now. And that's a good thing. It really is. So, anyway, there you go. That's my little pitch for the night. And I want to wish all of the mothers happy Mother's Day because it's tomorrow, right? Isn't it? Yeah. Tomorrow is Mother's Day. And, dang, right? Because today's Saturday. Yeah. I went out with my son. So tomorrow's Sunday, which is Mother's Day. So there you go. And wait, let me just click this little arrow and see. Ooh. Okay, so are there any questions that anyone has? Doesn't look like it. Maybe you guys are sleepy. Ooh. All right. Hmm. Okay. Well, oh, good afternoon from Australia. Hi, Sandy. Sandy Hill. That's a good name. How are you? I just came back from my Mother's Day celebration with my son. Good day, mate. All right, Ashley. And Eric Levitt. Hi. It's amazing how many people sent you gifts. I know. It really, I'm telling you, it was stunning. It was really shocking to me. And in a way, I almost couldn't handle it. But Jay was really great. He kept saying, "Look, you've been speaking up for 24 years. You deserve it." And I was like, "All right, I'm trying to deserve it." It was a lot though. It's really wonderful. All right, now who is this? Pup Groomer 20. Hey, hey, just popping in to tell you Happy Mother's Day. Thank you. All right, and Buffy Lynn, this is why the focus has to be religious tax exempt. Right, exactly. They aren't a religion, that's true, nor do they do anything for people to deserve non not no taxes or nonprofit status. Yeah. That we've got that's our next thing that we've got to really do. We've got to get the form, which I'm trying to get through to my friend who's unfortunately, husband just passed away, so she's kind of busy with that. But as soon as that's through, I'll get the form and then we'll know. Do you keep in touch with Greg? I do. Deb Barnes, they got divorced early on after that video. And I don't know what she's doing, but I haven't stayed in touch with Deb. But Greg, I've definitely stayed in touch with, and he's doing really good. Hi, Sophie. How are you? Hi, love Maddie. Hi. Pup Groomer 20. That is so cute. So, Sophie, how are you doing in New Zealand? How's New Zealand? All right. My Mother's Day was wonderful. I got to spend time with my son, and that's always wonderful. And I got to spend it last weekend and this weekend. So it was really fun. If you could interview anyone from Scientology, who would it be, and what would you ask? Mm, I would. You mean people that are still in? If I could interview someone that was still in, is that what you're asking? I would probably ask. Oh wait, question, Tori. Why Do you love the purple hair? I love it. Just wanted you to tell us where you thought about doing it. Where you thought about doing it. Okay. It's kind of an interesting story, and then remind me to finish what I was starting on this interview question, because that's a good question too. Okay, what happened with my hair is I used to go out to the Aero Theater, and there was a volunteer out there, an older lady who was I really like her. She has beautiful white hair, and she just had this little sprig of purple in her hair. And I just thought it looked so cute. And every time I would see her, I'd say, I love your hair. So now I turned 70. This was 6 years ago. I turned 70. And I thought, that's too weird to be 70 years old. So I said, okay, I got to do something. So I asked my hairdresser, I said, can I just put like a little twig? That's all I was thinking of, like a little twig on of purple. And he said, okay, I'm going to put it on both sides so you can see it on both sides. And he said, I'm just going to have it kiss your cheeks. And that's all it is. It's just right here. See, it's on each side, and it kisses my cheek. So that's it. That's where it came from. And I honestly, hi, Keiko. I honestly thought it was I did it as kind of a joke. Like I thought people would get upset with me and say, you're too old to have purple in your hair. And the exact opposite happened all my life. Women have always noticed my hair, but men never. Never. I was married for 26 years, and my husband was a really kind guy. But I would say, I'd get my hair done. I'd say, hey, how do you like my hair? And he'd go, that looks nice. Always. Didn't matter if I cut it, colored it, whatever I did, didn't matter. And same for every other man. No man ever said anything about my hair. Now, I put this purple in my hair kind of as a joke, thinking people are going to get ticked off at me and say, you're too old to have purple in your hair. And the exact opposite happens, where I've had men stop in the middle of the street, wind down their window, and say, I love the color of your hair. I've had all age groups, from young kids, oh my God, you have purple in your hair. Mom, look at her purple in her hair. Just all different ages have commented on it, and I really like it, so I just kept it. That's what happened. Hey, bizarre taking down Scientology. Oh, bikers taking down. Hey, we need you here. Get over to LA. We need you here, bikers taking down Scientology. Yesterday for sure. But I have a feeling they're going to hire more of those gangbangers. Sophie, I think they're going to hire more of the gangbangers, and so we need you guys. So if you can't come, if you know other bikers that are here, we need them for protection. All right, Caroline. Honestly, I have shaved a mohawk, dyed my hair blue, purple, etc., and my partner did not notice. I know that's kind of how mine was but it wasn't with the color. I don't, I did it after I left Scientology. So my husband is still in Scientology, my ex-husband. So, but I think he would have noticed. But all these other guys have. It's been amazing. It's been really fun. This cult had my husband almost divorce me. Wow. Good thing he snapped out of it. They still visit him, but I kicked them out. Oh, God. Pathetic. Love it. Look at you guys in your hearts. Very cute. Are you still in contact with anyone from 2000 that you still talk to today? Yeah, Bunker. Bunker was right there when, before I left. I knew Mark Bunker, and Bunker and I are in touch. Greg Barnes and I are in touch. Um, I don't know. I'm not good with names, but yes, I am in touch. Jeff Jacobson, he was at LMT. He's a great guy. He's the guy that came up with Gandhi Tech. You know what Gandhi Tech is? It's peacefully picketing. Instead of really being crazy, it's being peaceful because they can't arrest you if you peacefully picket. Please hit like. Oh yeah, good idea. Love it. Thank you. Sophie, yes, Tori, they're going to hire more people. I know. Can you tell us about how you saw this work when you were in? Okay, first of all, I really, really want to get something straight with you guys. I had parties here at my house for 14 years after I escaped out, okay? And for 14 years, almost every month or every other month. That's a lot of parties. And every party was ex-Scientologists coming in going, okay, I was in this, with each other, different people, different groups. I was in this room, you were in that room. What happened in your room? It's like the people you met, people that have never been in Scientology, I don't think they understand how divided it all is up. And thus, they can do these abusive things because you don't know about them. Like I didn't know, just like you're saying, like, well, what did you know about this? I didn't know anything about it. I never knew. I didn't even believe in fair game until they canceled my van the day I was leaving. I didn't really think it was true. I thought it was just something the critics were saying. I didn't believe it because even though I did the one thing. Well, I did two things. In Clearwater, and I've explained it. I handled the thing with Richard Tenney, so that was that, and that was nothing weird or mean or anything. All I did was talk to people and say, "Look, this is my religion. Why are you picking on us?" That was it. That's what I did, and so that was in Clearwater. And then here, my auditor and best friend, Bill Yachty, and that's what I was going to say to the other person who said, if you could talk to anyone, who would you talk to? It would be him, Bill Yachty, because I would like to say, what the hell happened? Why did you, my auditor and best friend, turn on me, rat on me, set me up, everything else that he did? I'd like to talk to him. I want to hear what he has to say, because it was pretty damn creepy. I'm telling you, they all turned on me and threw me under the bus. It was awful. And, it was just awful. I've made videos about it, but if you haven't heard it, sometime I'll have to do it again because it was awful. Oh, wait, let's see. YouTube is recommending Scientology garbage. What the fuck? I don't, what are you talking about? Oh, you mean like they're doing their ads? They pay for them. YouTube is all about money. So if they're going to pay them, they'll take it. It's their ads. Good morning from South Africa. All right, Caroline. Hi. You've got to protest David Sanchez from doing any more public talking, especially in schools. That is disgusting that he is in schools. I and Dave Turetsky and a group of other people, they actually first did all the research and found out Narconon had snuck into all the public schools here in California. And so we got a guy in San Francisco to do a story on it. And Dave called me up and he said, look, we've got to have somebody who knows what's going on in Scientology. We're all never ins. And I said, okay, have him call me. If I can answer it, I will. So the journalist calls me and he goes through a few questions. And the main one that was in the article from me was that Narconon is 100% under the umbrella of the Church of Scientology International. So they can say they're a separate group, but they're not. They're under the Church of Scientology International. And per the United States of America, we have a division of church and state. So they can't do that. So they gave Scientology 2 weeks to get out any religious communications that were in the high schools. And they couldn't because per the tech, you can't change anything. So they kicked all of them out of California, all the Narconon education. So I don't know. I've got to do some research and find out who this David Sanchez cat is and where is he talking? Is he back in the high schools or does anybody know? Does anybody have any information on him? Because I just heard he's giving, like he's sort of a creep himself, and now he's explaining how they cannot be creeps with Scientology. Oh yeah, that's really, and then comes and beats up, or smashes DOA's barbecue. It's like pathetic, Osa. Are you still in contact with any of the protesters from 2000? Yeah, I already told you that. I answered that question. Why do you love The purple hair. Okay, I explained that. Still in, yes. Who's still in? Lissa Lupin, you're still in Scientology? What are you in? Okay, got to protest David's. Yeah, I agree. We've got to find out where exactly. And this is another thing. Even without him, I've been saying this ever since I found this out, that parents across the United States should go into their schools and say, "Are you using any of L. Ron Hubbard's technology? Anything? Could be the way to happiness, Narcanon, Criminon, any all this stuff, applied scholastics. You got to find out because it's the beginning of their mind control. And if you want your kid, get them out, get them out. And it is a division of church and state. So that's your reference. All right. So Joe, YouTube is recommending science. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, they're paying for it. Um. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, we did that. Thank you. It's not a purple hair strand. It's not like it's clipped in there or something. This is my hair. It's just it's purple on each side. That's it. It's kissing my cheek. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. You're so pretty. Thank you, Sanchez. Thank you. Do I say Marzi? Marzi Dotes. That's cool. Thank you. Happy Mother's Day to all of you mothers, any of the mothers. And please, if you have a mother and she's still alive, please call her and wish her Happy Mother's Day. And if you run into mothers, just wish them Happy Mother's Day. Oh my God, I finally caught alive. I'm so happy. Hello from Atlanta. All right, Jurgen. I'm glad you did too. Bunker is such a sweetie and obviously adores and respects you. Love watching the dynamic. I know we've had a great time together. We liked him right away, even when I was in and he was the secure, with his camera and stuff. He was the only person that we really liked. Mark losing his city council was really disappointing. It was, but I think these are new things will come from Mark. He's a very creative guy. Thank you, Nanya, for the blessings. Thank you. City council seat. Yeah, I got that. Bunker the wise beard man with a beard. Don't forget who you'd like to interview in Scientology. A Bunker? I guess I could interview Bunker, but you said who was the one person, and the one person that I get to talk to. I have the great pleasure of talking to Bunker quite often. Not often, but enough to stay in touch with him for 24 years. But Yachty, I've never talked to since I left Scientology, and I would like to ask him these questions. And you said somebody who was in. Bunker was never in. Bunker was never in, and he isn't in now. Thank God. So there you go on that. Okay, so you only know one part. It's completely decomp. No, don't say. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I wasn't part of this thing of smashing up barbecues and stuff like that. No, I wasn't part of that. That's a separate. I have no idea what that is, but I didn't even know it existed. I didn't know they hired gangbangers. I wasn't part of that. And I don't only know one part. I did all of OT, I did all the lower bridge. I got trained as an auditor. I did all the way up through OT1, OT2, OT3, OT4, OT5, OT6, OT7. I was at Narcanon. I was at Way to Happiness. I was, I was always against Cribinon because they were always against my medicine. So, that's why they hate me because I know a lot of stuff about them. I was in a lot of legal court cases and stuff like that. Not a lot, but enough, a few of them. I stood up in court in a couple of times and talked. and I've done different things, so it isn't like I only knew one part, but I didn't know this part about this kind of stuff. And I remember talking to my friend Tommy once when we were picketing, and he's a wrestler. He's a short guy, but he's a tough guy, and he's a wrestler. And I said, Tommy, I just don't get it, because I'd heard about these people getting beat up and stuff, and I said, who would do something like that? And he goes, me. Because they used to call me all the time. I love going to beat people up. Now, I'm just saying that's what he told me. It's so they find out what you're good at and they get you to do that. I was good at, talking to people, PR, handling things. So that's what they would get me into. So that's all I was pretty much aware of as far as OSA. As far as Scientology, that's a different thing. Chester, every time this cult member would visit us, I would go bonkers at them. They would just smile and try to talk to me, but I go beast mode. They're simply inside like meth addicts. Yeah, they're empty like meth addicts. Yeah, right. Hello, Tori. My first time commenting. Thank you. Love from Wisconsin. You know Bunker's from there too. I always mention that when people mention they're from Wisconsin. Yeah, I'm sorry too. I'm mainly sorry for DOA. I hope he takes a break. I really do. I suggested that to him. Bikers taking down Scientology. I plan to move there. All right, as soon as I can get a plan in place and finances. I already have a motorhome. All right, good. Right now, I live in Montana, where there is no Scientology to protest. Thank God. Well, that's good, but it would be good to have you here. It really would. The manipulation is awful and sad. If you know any other people that are bikers that want to take down Scientology, it would really help us at this point. It really would. Okay, bikers, I'm moving to Montana this year. I don't want my kid to growing up in LA hating cops, and they're just too corrupt here. Mandy, I kind of agree with you on that as far as now, I mean, I raised my son here, but if I had a choice, I think I probably would go somewhere else where it's just more user friendly. Scientology, LA is not a friendly place. It really isn't. I mean, it is a little bit, but not like, I don't know. I grew up in Chicago and it was just much friendlier. You don't hear about Scientology in Missouri. I'm from Missouri. That's right. I subbed because people need to know. Yeah, good, good. I'm from Kansas City, Missouri. That's where I was born, and my parents sent me back there to go to finish high school. That's where I graduated from Notre Dame de Sion. And my father's from St. Louis, Missouri. So we're kind of Missouri people in a way. Oh my God, I think I remember meeting you. All right, Chester in Burbank. Berrigan's, yep. If I'm not mistaken, she is such a nice person. Yeah, I think so, Chester. Were we with Steve Hassan? I can't remember who we were with, but I remember you. Witness. Hi, Tori. Marzi Dates. I love that name. Talk to Aaron. He showed some videos of an orientation Dave Sanchez was at speaking at. I think some were schools. Yeah, no doubt. I've just got to find out if they're in the schools. Um, why do I have to pay to join Scientology? Scientology is all money. That's all it is. L. Ron Hubbard said in 1947 or 8 or 9, if you want to make money, start a religion. That's all Scientology is money. Why do you have to pay for it? Because they're money grubbing people. That's why. They trick you and make you think that they're going to help you get free. They don't. It doesn't work. And when you want your money back, they won't give it to you. Even if it's in a little savings account they have, they owe people millions of dollars that they will not give us back because, oh, well, you left, too bad, even though the policy says if someone wants to leave, let them go, give them their money back, That's it. That's from L. Ron Hubbard. But will David Miscavige do it? Miscavige, it's coming your way. I'm telling you, one way or the other, it is coming your way. And you can be sitting back going, woohoo, we got the barbecue all smashed up. Really? And you think that was a good idea? You are so fucking stupid. You're dumber than a bag of hair. You are. This is to David Miscavige. I mean, I'm serious. I never realized he was that stupid. I knew he was stupid, but this is like I never call people stupid. I just don't. But he is like dumber than a bag of hair. To have this shit go on for 24 years that I've been speaking out and have him never change a thing for the better and have people leave in droves? What a knucklehead. I'm not in Scientology, absolutely not. Oh, okay, good, 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 good. Thank you for making that clear. Bikers for Kids should get involved. Okay, Mandy, see if you can get them involved. Hi, love it, and Sophie. All right. Mandy Beach, what part of the state? Okay. Um, okay, so you guys are talking to each other. Love you, Tori. Thank you, Miss Pitt. Mrs. Pitt. You're an amazing human. Okay, well, thank you. I work at it. I really do. I try to do my best. That's the best you can do. And then do a little better the next day. That's what I think. Caroline, TG. Oh my God. I've just realized that my former boss is a Scientologist. He fair game me when I worked in his department. I always thought it was personal, but OBV, it was the COS. This caused me so much angst. Me too. The same thing happened to me in Scientology. I mean, I was in Scientology, but I just didn't, they turned on me a couple of different times. And I took it really personal. Like, I mean, I wasn't going to go back there. Forget it. I mean, if you saw what I went through, you wouldn't believe it. You just wouldn't believe it. Anyway, hi from Sweden. Wow, welcome from Sweden. Cool. I told my son today that I have people from all around that I get to talk to. I'm on my way to work, just coming in to hit the like button. Oh, thank you. Have a good night's sleep when you're ready. I will, believe me. I will very soon. I'm not a biker. I ride a cage, yet I'm in the patriotic guard riders, all right, and have thought of how useful bikers can be in a protest. Really, they can, Mandy. We gotta find them here. I know there's tons of them. I followed them once. One time, Jay Leno, he had that big ride thing, and they were going through town, and I followed him. I jumped in my car and followed him all the way up to Santa Barbara. I think they were up at Santa Barbara that time. And I just stood out in the street waving to them and welcoming them and everything. Hi, Tori. Happy Mother's Day. Thank you, irrelevant panda. There's no pandas that are irrelevant. All right. BACA for sure. Okay. My question is, what does Scientology help with or do? A king of misinformation, you can Google that and find out what they do. They've got all kinds of stuff pitching what they do. What they really do and what they say they do are two very different things. They say everyone that's on this chat right now, every one of us has what are called buttons. They're things that if you push them, you get upset. So let's say they're usually all very similar, like finance or communication or relationships, things like that, jobs, stuff like that that people have problems with. And so we used to, now this was in the old days, they don't do it anymore because everybody hates them. So they used to have what are called body routers. And they were people that route on the street and they'd be like, and we'd carry clipboards and we'd be like, hey, can we do a little survey with you? And they'd say, yeah, sure. And say, all right, well, what's ruining your life? And that was literally the first question. What's ruining your life? And a lot of people would just spit out, well, I can't communicate, or I'm really introverted, or I don't have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, or I money, just different things like that. So now you've got their button, right? And so then they used to, this is way back, and I got in 1969, and they used to say Scientology can help you with that. Well, that changed quickly because I think people sued them. And so now they say there's a chance that Scientology can help you with that. Why don't you come in? Come on in, and we'll show you what we've got that might be able to help you. And see, that's how they do it. And it's kind of like, I call it getting on the Scientology mind control train. Because once they get you on the train, now you're thinking, okay, I'll hop on the train. It's $40. That's how much it is for the communication course. Most everybody can use some kind of improvement in communication. So, okay, they hop on the bus or the train, and their plan is to get off at the next stop, right? They're going to do the communication course and get off at the next stop. But now they're on the train, and Scientology already knows your buttons. Let's say it's finance. So they come, and let's say your name is Bill, and your button is or let's say it's Martha. So your name is Martha, and you have a big problem with money. And so you do the communication course, and you have a nice win on it. It's kind of simple stuff. And so you say, yeah, I liked it, but now I'm going to get off. The next stop is coming up, and I'm going to get off here. And they're like, Martha, what are you thinking of? And by now, they already know who you like, who you respect, who you really will listen to, that kind of thing, because they've surrounded you, and kind of they ask you questions, and they find out things, and so and people freely give it up, and you see who they're hanging with and stuff like that. So now they get those people to come over and go, Martha, I, I just heard you're thinking about getting off at the next stop. I thought you wanted to go clear. You know to handle finances. You've got to go clear. And you're like, really? And they're like, oh, definitely. And now they have if they need a whole bunch of people, they come on and go, oh, for sure. That's really what changed things for me. And you're like, really? And they're like, yeah. And so now you got to fork out more money because it costs money. And it's all with the hope that you're going to handle whatever your button is. And it just goes on and on and on. It's like a fishing pole with the thing right at, a couple of feet from, I don't know how to explain it, but you know how it's almost there. You're almost there all the time. That's their thing. And then some people leave right away. They go, this is bullshit, and they leave. But most people stay in because we liked each other. A lot of people stay because of the people. They like the people. Okay, so I hope that helped you, King of Misinformation. Sophie, my mom just went home now. Ah, she's kind of like Tori, loves the young people. Ah, okay, so she went back to New Zealand. I mean, I don't know where home is for your mom. I thought you were in New Zealand and she was in New Zealand. So you mean she just went to her home in New Zealand or somewhere else? Okay. Mandy Beach. Cool. Okay, I guess you guys are talking with each other. She kind of looks like a blonde Edna Mode from The Incredibles. All right. Bunker is re-releasing a bunch of great films in 4K on his channel. I know. Yeah. We're going to do one together Sunday. Mandy Beach, but Crazy Westboro is still doing its crap. Okay, you guys are in a different thing. Question: if these cult members visit our place unannounced, how should I deal with them? My husband was an ex-cult member, you mean? Um, if these cult members visit our place unannounced, well, first of all, they've lost so many people. They don't really have people to come around and visit you. I doubt if they will. I really doubt if they will. And if they did, you can just say, no, you're not coming in here. If your husband says, but I want to talk to him, just say, no. this is, I need to talk to you privately, and no, we're not going to talk to them. And if it gets weird, you can just say, I'm going to call the police. That's all there is to it. You call the police and say, look, there's some weird people that are trying to come in my house. I don't want them here. I don't know why, but my husband wants to talk to him, but I don't want him here, and I want you to come help me. There you go. But I would sit down with your husband ahead of time and say, look, I don't want you in a cult. I don't want me in a cult. I don't want people from a cult coming into our house. Let's get some agreements here before any of this shit happens. I doubt if they would. I really doubt if they would. They're not coming to ex-members' houses where they, that are activists speaking out. They don't have anybody to do that. I mean, they might come do some fair game stuff, but they're not going to come to someone's house where they don't know you and your husband was in a cult. I just don't think so. That's my opinion. But I would talk to your husband first so you've got some ground rules. Okay, good morning, sunshine. Thank you, Mad Monk. All right. And Mandy Beach, also regular news media, loves Becca. If enough show up from time to time, may get some media out of it. Yeah, because they're really afraid of Scientology, so they generally don't do anything about it. I totally understand, Tori. That's what I meant. Maybe wording it wrong. Oh, that your mom is in New Zealand and she went back to her home. I gotcha. Good. All right. And Tori, where in Wisconsin is Mark Bunker from? I don't know, but he has a Facebook site, and you can send him a little Facebook thing and say, I'm from Wisconsin. Tori mentioned you are. Can you tell me where you're from? What do you think about having tents outside of Big Blue? Not my plan. I don't think it's a good idea. I just don't think it's a good idea. I don't. I mean, first of all, protesters are not homeless people. Tents puts us in the same category as homeless people. So that's like number one. Number two is it's going to really piss off Scientology in a negative way. They're already being as creepy as they can be. They'll hire some more of these gangbangers and smash in the tents. I was in Girl Scouts when I was a little kid, and these gangbangers came and slashed our tents. It's nothing for people to do that. It's too much of a target. I think that's the way I feel. But everybody's got to do what they want to do. That's, you asked me what I think, and I just think it's been very successful with DOA doing the barbecues and we doing protests. I think those are good things. A peaceful protest and the barbecues, fantastic. Tents and living there. Do you really want to be around Scientology that much? That's too much for me. I need to come get away from them. I don't know. For me, maybe because I was in for so long, but it's just, no, I don't want to be around there in a tent by them. They're abusive fuckers. No. Get it together. Think about it a little bit. These guys are not friendly guys where we can just hang out on the street with them. No. We got to safeguard ourselves and protect ourselves. Oh, you're room rating from Jay. All right. Hi, Sue. Cool. I like that. Great advice, Tori. Thank you. I don't mean to ruffle people's feathers, but I'm just telling you, you asked me what I think. What is the thought from the higher ups when they get requests from younger auditors? You're going to have to give a little bit more specific. I don't have any idea what you're talking about. They don't generally listen to us. I mean, I know me writing up Miscavige, he never, ever, ever did anything. And I had some very specific things I needed, didn't ever do anything. Okay, continue. Okay, continue. It took my fucking money. That's why the night that I escaped out, when I got to Tampa, and I know, Osa, you're listening to this, I got to the Tampa airport, and Penny Jones came running up to me, Tori, 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 I need to talk to you. What is going on? And I'm like, I think it's a little bit too much to talk to you right now, Penny. And there was a mob of Scientologists there. And she said, and the police were there, stand back. It was like she has to decide. She has to decide which side she wants, Stacy, Bob, and Jesse, or the Scientologists. And so Penny comes up. I talked to her for a minute, and she goes, well, just so you know, I'm best friends with David Miscavige, and I can get him any message that you need tonight. And I said, okay, here's my message. I pick them, meaning Stacy, Bob, and Jesse. It was like, fuck you. It was, ugh. Miscavige is really a weasel. He's a short, shrimpy, no courage at all, creepy guy that somehow took over Scientology. I was there in the room. I wasn't really present because I'd lost my son that night. I found him, thank God, hours later, but my attention was all on finding my son. So it wasn't on L. Ron Hubbard took off and David Miscavige is taking over. I was like, I don't care. I want to find my son. Sorry, Tori. I mean, she was here for dinner at my house. Oh, and just went home to her house. Yeah, that's what I thought. I think you would get along with her as you're similar. Yeah, I bet. I bet. Well, please tell her Happy Mother's Day from me and that she did a great job raising you. All right, awesome live stream, sending positive vibes and love. Stay safe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What is the thought from higher ups when they get requests for younger auditors? Oh, you mean, oh, okay. What are the thoughts from higher ups when they get requests for younger auditors? They I think they know. Nobody wants to be in Scientology anymore. They don't. That's why they're going to all these other countries. That's why I keep saying to you all, get cards made up. Put Xenu.net on it and whatever other websites you feel are educational. Xenu.net has so much stuff on it with videos and personal stories and education and factual things. It's really great. So I always keep that in. Even if you don't know it or it's old school, it's not old school enough. Unless you have some other website that you can tell me is better than Xenu.net, put it on your card. But get a bunch of different websites, put them on the card, and start handing them out. If everybody that was on all these streams handed them out to young people, I do it all the time. I go, you know what? Your life is in danger. And they go, me? Why? And I go, because you're young and you're nice looking and you're 15 minutes away from Scientology. And they go, I never thought of that. And I said, exactly. And I go, here's my card. I was in it for 30 years. I know what I'm talking about. And even if you weren't, you can say, my friend, Tori Magoo, just say Tori, was in it for 30 years and escaped out, was chased across the country. And you can find out all the stuff that they won't tell you on this card. See, that's the thing. That's what's important because they won't tell them any of that stuff. And people want to know. They do. A lot of people say to me, I saw the whole Leo Remini thing, but it just doesn't seem like it could be true. And I go, it is true. It's not only true, it's way worse than you think. So take this card and start getting educated because cult experts say your only protection in not getting suckered into a cult, because they told me, they said, Tori, anybody can get suckered into a cult if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time. And your only protection is learning what is a cult. If you know what is a cult, you will never get suckered into it because there's only like 9 steps to mind control. But Google it, type it in YouTube, mind control cults, and start learning about it because honestly, it's really tricky and you need to know it. Thank you. All right. So I love that you're room raiding. I think that's cool. Room raid coming from Jay's stream. Woohoo! Hi, you guys. You are so wonderful, all of you. We are here for Tori. Thank you, Pitbull. Room raid from Jay. All right. We're here for DJ Tori. J raid is on. All right. You guys are too much. I agree. Very fun. How many people did you own back in your days? How many people did you own? Back in your days? What does that mean? Henry Bartholomew, I can't say your last name, Nigelnut. How many people did you own back in your day? I don't know what that means. You have to say it again and say what you're talking about, because think of me like a 5-year-old. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, J-Raid. Okay, hi, J-Raider. Hi, Kimberly. Oh, this is so good to see all you guys. Beautiful. I come over from Jay's. Hiya, Tori. Yeah, he needs a rest too. Hi, J Raiders. Hi, Tori. Hi, Sue Denon. Swedish Lena. Room raid from Jay. So sorry for being so late to the stream. Don't worry about it. We've been having a good time. To Tori, Jay sent me. All right. Thank you for coming, TX Whispers. Nice. Jay Osa? All right. Jay Room Raid. Okay. Hi, Sassy Cat. My old friend's name was Sassy Cat. That was her nickname. And she died just recently. She was Bill Yachty's wife. And she never knew anything about all the OSA stuff that he did. Never knew it. I feel you, Tori. Well, thank you. That's nice. NYC Pitbull. Okay. Hear from Jay Stream. All right. It it While just be silly. It will just be silly. Hi, Tori. Rating you from Jay. All right. Please hit the like button and subscribe. Yeah, you guys, make sure to subscribe. I'm trying to get my subscriptions up, and it would really help if you come right here, if you subscribe here. And that helps all the Scientology stuff. The more you subscribe, the more it pushes it up the algorithm, meaning it comes up more in view, and we want it in view. You can see as of yesterday from what they did to DOA, they don't want it in view. So if you care about what happened yesterday, subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. It's nothing. It's free. And I have a lot of good videos. I do. It's Midnight with Magoo. That's the thing. All right. Carrie May 666. All right. Hi. Hi, Tina. Coming from Jay's chat. Wow, you guys are a ton. Came from Jay's chat. More fun than sitting at home. Very good. M. Love that you wrote up DM. Yeah. He's such a creep. Oh, he's not someone I would want to talk to. I wouldn't. Comment. I thought the tents were for the unhoused, not for the protesters. Anyone? Okay. If they're for the unhoused, I'm just telling you, they'll still get them. It'll be a lot of money wasted. That's what I think. Because they will somehow work it so that they get it away from Scientology. They've kept all the homeless away from them for years. And they're all over LA, but they're not in Scientology. They're not on L. Ron Hubbard Way. And we could invite the homeless there, but I'm just telling you, I don't think it's a good idea. I just don't. I don't think so. I think feeding the people is a great idea. And I can see from the people, they really appreciate it. Putting up tents on L. Ron Hubbard Way, I think puts them in danger. I really do. That's how much I think they are dangerous people. And not all of them by any means, but the ones that are crazy, just like these guys yesterday. They're nuts. So I wouldn't want to ask homeless people, yeah, come on and stay in this tent on L. Ron Hubbard's Way. And then who knows what they're going to do to them? Who knows? Or turn them into Scientologists. Come join the Sea Org. We'll have, 3 meals a day, bed at night. It's a wonderful thing. It's like, no. I'm telling you, I have helped keep a lot of people out of the Sea Org. I'll tell you 2 stories. One was a black guy, and if you've already heard this, just tell me, but one was a black guy who his friend was outside of the HTB, which is in Hollywood. It's their executive building. And he was really bummed. And I said, "What's going on, man?" And he said, "Oh, my friend just joined this thing in there." And I said, "The Sea Org?" And he said, "Yeah, I think that's it." And I said, "Why?" And he said, "He just wanted a dinner and they promised him a dinner." And I said, "Okay, get him out there. Just go to the door and say you need to talk to your friend for 5 minutes." So he came out and I said, "Do you honestly want to be part of this? This is like a slave camp. Do you want to be part of this?" And he said, "No, I don't. I just don't know. I signed the contract, so I have to do it." And I said, "No, it's a totally illegal contract. You do not have to do it. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to make a line across the sidewalk so they can't get to you. And I want you to haul ass down the street and just keep going and don't come back here again." Because you can see these guys are good at what they do. And they ran down the street. "Thank you so much. Thank you so much." And it's important that, I don't want to get people in their hands. I wouldn't put myself in their hands. I wouldn't want other, for all night. No fucking way. All right. I thought the tents, okay. Anyway, I don't think that's a good idea. I think that safety is a really good point. Tents feel vulnerable, very vulnerable. And believe me, Scientology does not want homeless people on the L. Ron Hubbard way. So they will do whatever they have to do to get them to move. And you can see as of last night, they don't have any. They used to have, I thought, a limit for what kind of stuff that they would do, because they've done a lot of stuff to me. They've broken into my house. They've, sprayed my rear view mirror half pink and it fell off. They flattened my tires. They've done all kinds of shit. But this stuff is different. This is real. I wouldn't put people, homeless people that are already having difficulty. You're going to put them on L. Ron Hubbard way. You don't think the Regis would be there in 10 minutes going, "You know what? You really should consider joining the Sea Org. This would be perfect for you. Then you don't have to stay out in these tents at night when it gets cold, because we'll give you a nice warm bed. You can sleep in 3 meals a day. You can help mankind." And I can see it. It's like, oh, good. So now the protesters are recruiting people to join the Sea Org. That's what it's going to end up being. No, I say 100% no. I thought the tents. Okay, so I think that safety. I do too. Raid from Jay's chat. Thank you, Annie. Galactic Days. Who can talk to Miscavige? Just higher ups? Pretty much, people that are around him. And even then, they can't really. He's a very suppressive, awful person. Swedish Lena. Good evening, Tori, chat, and mods. I've missed a few streams lately and have had reviews, I've had redraws from you all. I don't know what a redraw is. Redraw? I don't know what that means. And have had redraws from you all. What does that mean, redraws? Okay. Well, anyway, Sophie says hi too. Witness, right on, Tori. Love it, hi, hun. Cool. And this is from Bikers Taking Down Scientology, hopefully soon. It's gross. I think they mean people paying extra money to have a young, beautiful auditor doing their auditing. I don't know. They might. I mean, I don't really, I've never heard of that, but they don't have that kind of thing. You're in like a line of people and they take who they take. I'm sure if you pay more money, you're going to get quicker auditing, but I was always with just the people, so I can't really speak for that. Love the way you speak the truth. Thank you. Happy Mother's Day, Tori. Thank you, Susie Alt. All right. And Jen Wow, Room Raid. And Carrie May 666. Thank you. Tents from the unhoused by the Sea of S will just put them in danger. No can do. Exactly. Okay, that's my concern, is that it will definitely put the people in danger. I don't know what RAT stands for. Thank you for the hearts, Sophie, and love it. Sending Swedish Lena some hearts. All right, Bushmaster. I heard people will request cute underage auditors instead of getting a random auditor. From our vantage point, it seems suspicious. Do higher ups see it as suspicious or as blackmail opportunity? Honestly, I have never, ever heard of that. I haven't. So I'm the wrong person to ask. Maybe there's somebody that knows about it. I don't. Um, I knew you go to the reg, they sign you up for a course. You go do the course, you go to the examiners, now you go to the reg, they sign you up for the next thing. That's how it goes. That for with me. Um, so you've heard people will request cute underage auditors. I have never heard of that. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm just saying, like I've said, Scientology is a maze. So many people did not know what the other people were doing. So maybe that is happening, but you need to talk to whoever you heard that from and find out where they got it from and kind of get the factual information instead of just this big generality of, something that you heard. And it's like, where? Who? What person? Okay. Philosophy, Kia Ora. Oh, nice, Swedish Alina. All right, now, Senior Squirrel, happy Mother's Day. Thank you. And Becky, happy Mother's Day to me and to you, both of us. And Holly Lewis, happy Mother's Day. Thank you. If you're a mom, happy Mother's Day to you. Don't forget to hit the like button. Yeah, that's right. And please subscribe to all these J Raiders, please. Carrie May 666. Yes, agree, Tori. Okay. Glad you got out. Thank goodness. Me too. Wow, I just saw this. You're awesome. Thank you, Maureen. My old best friend was Maureen. Can't remember her last name now. Maureen. I can't remember, but it was Maureen. I remember that. And Jackie Overbeck. She was my friend too, in Park Bridge. Happy Mother's Day from Sue Denham. And if you're a mother, happy Mother's Day to you. And if you have a mom, make sure to call your mom. The streamers really need to listen to you. You know how Scientology works. Well, I think a lot of different people do. I'm just saying, I know I know what I've been in, but I know that from 14 years of parties and watching people compare notes, it's frightening to think how divided up we were. But a lot of us were in for 30 years. You know what I mean? And you're in your little section, and everything's top secret. Everything. At least with me, it was like, this is top secret. I don't want you to tell anybody, but blah 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 blah. Anyway, just on and on and on. And I should have just left, but I didn't. I should have. I actually, the first 20 years, I was pretty okay because I did co-auditing, so I didn't have auditing from anybody in the church. I got trained and I co-audited, which means I would audit you and you would audit me, and I would audit you and you would audit me. So that's what we would do. So that was the lower bridge for me. That's what I did. Then for grade 5, which is power, someone gave me that for Christmas. So a very kind woman gave me power and the briefing course package. So that was that. And then clear, I didn't think I could go clear because I have epilepsy. And the original definition said a perfect memory, a perfect IQ, no somatics, no pains. So that counts me out, right? And so then I ran into Debbie Mace. And Debbie Mace said, no, you've got to write to David Mayo. He'll help you. He was like the senior CS at the time. So I wrote it to him and said, blah, 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 I have epilepsy. I don't think I can go clear. And da, da, da. And no, I know what happened. Wait, that was for OT3 for David Mayo. for Clear, I had lunch with Arthur Hubbard, who was L. Ron Hubbard's son. And he said, "Tell me your story." And I did. I told him my story. And he said, "Oh my God, you're a last lifetime Clear." And this is now everyone's heard of it. But back then, I'd never heard that term. I didn't even know what it was. I said, "What does that mean?" And he said, "Well, you went Clear last lifetime, with my dad. He was doing research with different people, and you were one of them, and that's what happened." And I thought, okay, that works. I didn't really care because everyone kept saying, "You've got to do OT3. That's what's going to fix epilepsy." And so I was sort of like, I didn't ever think anyone was Clear, really. It wasn't my thing. It was like, do you know anybody with a perfect memory, perfect IQ, no somatics, no pains? I don't. I've never seen anyone, I've never met anyone, and I don't believe it happens. So they can think they do, but I don't believe it is. So Clear wasn't my deal. So, okay, I tested Clear. But now I've got to do the OT levels. And that's when I said to Debbie Mace, forget it. I've got to, I'll do it next lifetime when I get a new body. That's what I told her. And she goes, no, no, write to David Mayo. He'll help you with it. So I write it up to him, and I still have it. I have a 6-page letter from David Mayo because I wrote to him what happened, and he goes, "Well, it sounds like you need a PTS handling." And David Mayo, and I put, "That's it? That's fucking it? I need a PTS handling? Do you know how many morons in Los Angeles have told me over the years I need a PTS handling? And you are the top senior CS on the planet. And that's the only thing you can say to me? Forget it." And I signed it my name, right? And I got back a 6-page handwritten letter from David Mayo saying, "Oh my God, I of course you need your medication. I am so sorry that I said that so like glibly, that you need a PTS handling." He said, this and that and that. And he said, "I've heard there are a bunch of morons in LA. And if you need my help, come to Flag and I'll help you get through OT3," which he did. So there you go. That's what happened with that. And then OT4 through and those are solo, so you're just doing them by yourself. Do you know what I mean? No one's auditing you. So OT4, Yachty audited me, who was already the guy getting me into this OSA shit. And so he audits me because he was in the Sea Org. So he audits me. And then OT5, he audited me. And I thought, this could go on forever. So, because by OT3 is all just on your body, right? But OT5, it can be 10 feet away, it can be 50 feet away, it can be the state of California away, it can be Mars, and I thought, this is ridiculous. This could go on forever, literally forever. And so that's what I said, no, you've got to just get me done with OT5 and I'll go on to 7 and do it on solo. So that's what happened. Excuse me. So I wasn't around a lot of the paying. I mean, because my mother-in-law paid for OT4 through 8. So I paid for OT1 through 3. I paid for that. She paid for 4 through 8 for Harold and I, saying, "This is your inheritance. I'm going to give it to Flag. That's it." Now, we could have bought a house with it. It would have been really nice. And we probably would have still been together. But anyway, that's not how it went down. So there you go. That's my story. All right, Tori Magoo, do public Scientologists stay on base or at their own homes? Good question. If they live in Clearwater, they stay in their own homes. We flew from LA to Clearwater, and they insisted we stayed at the Sandcastle, which was the only place OT7s could stay at the time for many, many years. And they were really expensive. It was like $1,000 a week to stay in the room. And I'm not a person with a lot of money, so it was like, this is ridiculous. I could stay at the Motel 6, and they have a TV in the motel, or not Motel 6, but like, I forget what those other motels are, but there's some motels that are near there that are nice motels, and they have TVs and stuff like that, and they're like, $35, $40 a night. but they wouldn't let us. We had to stay at the sandcastle. So we stayed at the sandcastle, and it was very, very expensive. Okay, so there you go. Oh no, this is very sad. In my country, Japan, Scientology also is here. Ugh, I'm afraid of that. Do not go near there. Good. Stay away. Don't go near there. They're very good at what they do. They know how to manipulate people. So I say, if you don't want to get suckered into it, don't go by there. And I can't tell you how many people think, well, I'll just try it. I'll see what happens. Don't go see what happens. Too many people never get out. Hi, Confident Chris. How are ya? All right. Did you ever stay at the Fort Harrison? I think I did. I think, but I'm not. No, I don't think I stayed there. I was on course there. I flew there to do a specific course, and I did the course there, but I didn't sleep there. I don't think. I don't think. I can't because I lived in Largo. When we were near Clearwater. So no, I don't think so. Um, but see, Sandcastle is for OT7s, and that's in Clearwater. It's separate from the Fort Harrison. Okay, the major problem, my husband is a POS, but blah, blah, blah. We probably would still be together. My husband is I don't know what a POS is. I'm sorry. But it sounds like it's a cult, another cult, but you still stay together. Okay, well, that's your choice. Hi, confident Chris. He's here. My comment is misunderstood, I think. Yes, he did leave absolutely. Okay, good. Good, good, good. Sorry I misunderstood it. Better when you're here. And I'm better when you're here, Chris. I really love you. I do. He's such a great guy. He is a major help to me. Confident Chris, so jealous of your tacos. Oh, I think Becky made the tacos, didn't she? Carrie May 666, hi, Confident Chris. I didn't know you were live, or else I would have sent everyone here. Yeah, I'm every midnight with Magoo. I mean, it's not every night, but most of the nights I am. Is the LA Pubella lady definitely a Scientologist? I don't know. The interview with her earlier was very strange. She was the one supporting Danny because Danny was in her restaurant. That's all I know about her is that she wrote to the judge and said what a great character he is and all this shit. That's the only thing I know. Hi, Cassie, Isaac. Hi. Anyway, that's all I know. So there you go. So, Confident Chris, do you have any questions? Anna, hi, Tori. I just woke up in Europe. Ooh, you lucky dog. I wish I was in Europe. I've never gotten to really, well, I got to go to Norway and London. And I think that's it. Norway and London, Canada, Toronto, Canada. Oh, yeah, and Ireland. That's right. I got to go to Ireland. That was wonderful. Gang, gang. All right, TJ. And Farrell, hi, with a nice heart. I like all these little emoticons. I really do. I like them. Can you tell that I'm in my little polka dot thing? I was all ready for bed, and then I thought, oh wait, I got to do the midnight with Magoo. So these are my little pajamas. I'm ready for bed. Really, why now? Really, why now? What? All right, Bushmaster. Really, why now? What? I tried to drive to see the northern lights. Wait a minute. Tried to see the northern lights here in Florida with no luck? No, I don't think it would. Good morning from the Netherlands. Ooh, finally. catching you alive again. Thank you. Hi, it's a Hildebrand. You know that John Hildebrand was the guy that got me in Scientology. Yep. Her speech patterns, and wait, totally T4Y tout. Her speech patterns and mannerisms reminded me a lot of my sister. What I suspect of being a Scientologist. Oh, probably you meant who I suspect of being a Scientologist. So her being who? I don't know who you're talking about. Hello, I hope y'all are having an amazingly nice night and day. Yeah, it's been pretty good. Mine was great. Hey, Fluffer UK Squirrel UK, hi. Love to you too. Okay. Question, Tori Magoo 44. Did you find yourself becoming agnostic or turn into another religion after you left? Sorry, I'm new to the channel. Don't be sorry. That's okay. That's a good question. I will never turn to another religion. Scientology isn't a religion, first of all. So, and I never thought it was. So no, I didn't turn to another religion. Probably agnostic is close to it. I mean, I think I do believe in higher powers, so I don't know if agnostics believe in higher powers, but I do. I think I do believe in higher powers. PJs are good. I know they're nice and snugly warm. Pajama party on Saturday night, Sunday morning, etc. That's right. Hi, Tori. I woke up in Texas. Wow. Now that's scary. Oops. PJ party. That's right. Yeah, everybody get on your PJs. POS means piece of shit. Oh, okay. Just for your information. Thank you for letting me know that. Okay, so now I forgot what you were talking about, though. What was. I don't remember what you were relating that to. But I think it was someone that was a. Oh, you said he was a POS, but you'd probably stay with them. Okay, all right. What did you think it was at first? I didn't. I didn't know what it was. I don't have a thing where I think it's this. I either know what it is or I don't. And I didn't. I didn't know what it was. There you go. There you go. Hi, Laura Lee. Thank you, Tori. You are welcome, Laura Lee. I like your name. My middle name is Lee. Tori Lee. The truth. Melissa Montez. Hi. And Raven Miller, happy Mother's Day for tomorrow. Thank you. I already celebrated it today with my son. We had a great time. Happy Mother's Day. Thank you, Jay Bat. And happy Mother's Day to you guys if you're mothers. D. Thomas, you're spiritual, not religious. That's right. That's perfect. That is correct. Hi, Tori. I love your energy and your straight talk. You were there for DOA last night, and you were so good in talking to the cops. Yeah, thank you. I felt good about it. I'm always good in emergencies. That's my thing, more than anything else. I mean, I can't cook for shit, but put me in an emergency and I'm there. I've handled more things that most people go, I can't believe you handled that. I'm like, I know, I know. I'll tell you a really fun one. I think it sounded like a Scientologist at some point. Okay. Thank you. I wasn't sure if I was seeing things right. Okay, I guess so. Ah, wait a minute. Thank you. I wasn't sure if I was seeing things right. Okay, question. How long is the longest time you have been audited? I don't know, probably an hour at the most. I mean, are you talking about like in one session? Probably an hour, I would say, if that. You know, I'm not like a long time in session person because it never worked for me. So I mean, it worked a little bit, but not really. You're the same age as my mom, and you seem just as nice as her. Happy Mother's Day. Thank you, totally. Thank you. Make sure to tell her that you love her. And if you don't get her anything, at least write her something. I taught my son that years ago. I said, if you don't want to buy something, which is fine, just write me something. And he always does. He gets me a card and writes me the most wonderful things, and I keep them by my bed because they're so sweet. Assured you did. All right. Totally T for out. Happy Mother's Day. All right. Thank you, Annie. Forgot the thing I was going to tell you guys. Forgot what it was. It was something pretty funny. Oh, I think I told you guys this story anyway. But, some of the guys are here from Jay's site, so they might not have heard it. Do you mind if I tell it? It's kind of a good story. Anyway, I'm downtown. This is when I'm a Scientologist. You're a precious soul, and we will always protect you at all costs. Oh, thank you. Her speech is very calculated and robotic. Who are you talking about, though? Totally T4K tout? Are you talking about who? Because when you say her, I don't know who you mean. Do you mean me? Are you talking about someone that you know or what? Thank you, Confidence Chris. Thank you. I don't think you know this story, though, Confident Chris. I'm going to tell you and these other guys this story. Okay, so we're downtown. Well, first you have to let me know if you want to hear it or not. Definition: agnostic doesn't know if there's a God. Atheist does not believe in God at all. Theist, one God. Polytheist, many gods. I don't know. I just know there's higher powers, and I talk to them. Totally. Please add context. Yeah, thank you, love it. Yeah, because otherwise I don't know what you're talking about. Um, okay, so all right, so bikers taking down Scientology wants to hear my story. Okay, so here's the story. So, but you have to remember, you have to keep in mind, I'm in Scientology. So, because you guys won't think it's great, but it was great at the time. I'm in Scientology. I'm downtown. Larry Wallersheim is suing the Church of Scientology. We're all in a park by the courthouse, across from the courthouse, and I'm up on a stage with in a minister's outfit because I'm in the courtroom and shit like that. So I'm on the stage with Pat Gualtieri, who's running this whole show. And all of a sudden, I see everybody run down to the street. And I say, Pat, I don't know what's going on, but everybody is running down to the street. And he goes, all right, let's go. So we go down to the street, and there's NBC, ABC, a guy in the middle of the street with a t-shirt with BTs and clusters and all kinds of shit on his front of his shirt, and on the back it has a big XENU, which is Xenu, which the church back then, no one knew Xenu except Scientologists who did OT3 or above. Nobody. So, I mean, maybe somebody, I think they leaked it in one of the papers or something like that, but it was very hush hush. So now this guy's out in the middle of the street with the Xenu thing on the back. So I say to Ken Hoden, who's the president of the Church of Scientology, because NBC's there, CBS, they're filming all this, right? And I say, don't you kind of think we should have somebody out there like representing the church go talk to NBC and ABC? And he goes, yeah, go handle it, Tori. So I walk out there, and this is me in the emergency. I didn't think it through. I just walked out, put my hand over Xenu, right? So now the media can't get it. I put my hand, and you're not going to like this. I'm just telling you. Most of you won't like it, but this is what happened. I put my hand over the Xenu thing so that they can't get a shot of it. He starts screaming. The police come over, and I say, look, Frank, you forgot your medication today, didn't you? And he starts screaming, I don't take medication. And I know he doesn't take medication, but he is acting flipped out. And he does have all their confidential stuff on his t shirt. And NBC and ABC are there. And so I just start very calmly with my hand over Xeno so they can't get that. And he had about 1,000 of them all over his t shirt. So I don't really think they could even figure out what he was saying. And they said, and I said, Frank, you know you take medication and you didn't take it today, did you? And he starts jumping all around, and his head was shaved and everything, so he looked kind of crazy. And this is back when people didn't have shaved heads, so it wasn't like a hip thing. I mean, he looked really weird. And he's like, I don't take medication. She's lying. Blah, blah, blah. And I said, this is kind of what happens when he doesn't take his medication to the cops. And they kind of go, okay. And I said, maybe you could escort him home. That would really help. And they said, yeah, sure. So they throw him into the car. I said, you don't have to arrest him or anything. Just give him a ride home. And by then, when I say, you take your medication and you forgot, NBC turns off their lights and then ABC turns off their lights. It's just sort of like, okay, this is some nutball out in the street. Let's go. So they're done. And so that's handled. And then I say, I think, you don't have to give him a ticket or anything because he was just out here with his free speech. But I do think he's a little bit off the rails, and it would probably help him to get a ride home. Could you just give him a ride home? And they go, sure. So they put him in the car and they drive off. And Ken Hoden is like, what did you do? How did you handle that? And I said, I don't know. Don't ask me. It's like it isn't like I thought it through. Do you know what I mean? That's the way it came out. But isn't that, I mean, for Scientologists, they loved it because they thought it was a great story. But you guys might think, well, that's a little weird. But it is. That's just the way it went down, and it was just so weird the way with emergencies. That's the way I am. I just like that's it, and I'm there. Like I saw DOA, and he's like, I'm having a panic attack. Somebody help me, and like they're not doing anything. So I'm like, Scotty, you're okay. I just looked at him. I said, Scotty, you're okay. And he looked up and he just right away looked a little bit better, just a little bit. I'm not saying I'm the one who did it because I didn't, but I'm just saying I knew he needed some friends. And luckily, a whole bunch of people came, as you saw. And so, because, originally it was just Danny and Chris were there with him. So it was, and imagine having these gang members come after you. It's like, ugh. Okay, so now let's see. Okay, yes, tell the story. Okay, so I told the story. All right, you were listening. Tell it anyway. Yes, please tell the story. Okay, so I told the story. So what do you think now? We all want to hear your every story you have to tell. I wake up at 4:20. It's 1:20 a.m. in LA, and Tori's live. Yeah, it's because I do midnight with Magoo. I'm a night owl, so that's just the way it is. And so, thank you, Ed. Tori's legend. That is incredible. I know it was pretty incredible to handle that much that fast. I mean, Ken Hoden was like, "What did you do?" Another time. Okay, here's another one. I'll tell you one more, and then I got to go to bed. The other one is I'm in the courtroom with Larry Wallersheim, who he and I are friends now, but back then I wasn't friends with him. And he's suing the church, and I'm still in the church. And so they say, okay, you stay in the courtroom. So I'm in the courtroom, and I had already stood up and spoken a couple of times, so they knew I could do it. And so I just saw your thing about, did I see your email about John Hildebrand? I sent you links to details about him. Okay, I'll look at it again. I don't think I did. Thank you. So I'm in the courtroom, and Ken Hoden comes up to me again, and who's the president of the church at the time, and he goes, "Look, just whatever you have to do, handle it. I don't know what's coming up, but just handle it." And these big execs were there. I think Miscavige was there, and a bunch of the top dogs were there, right? So now I'm like in the first row, and Wallersheim, the judge had promised he wouldn't let the OT materials come into the courtroom, into the transcripts. But Larry starts talking about dreaming, and I'm having these dreams and this and that, and I think, oh God, this is how he's going to do it. He's going to go into his dreams and bring up Xenu and BTs and clusters, right? And so I jump up and I say, Your Honor, I have something I've got to say. And his attorney is in front of me, and then there's the judge, and the judge goes, "You sit down." And I normally don't faint. I really don't. I'm not like a fainting kind of person, but I honestly thought maybe I was going to faint. And I think he's saying to me, sit down. And he looks at the attorney and he goes, she might have something important to say. You sit down. So the attorney sits down. He says to all the jury, which is 3 rows of jurors, everybody out of the room. I've got to talk to her privately. So now, and I'm just somebody sitting in the courtroom. I'm not like a witness or anything like that. So now the judge says, okay, what would you like to say? And I said, okay, you promised that you weren't going to let the OT materials into the courtroom. But I think Mr. Wallersheim is slowly going into it now. And he looks at me with a very good question. And he goes, well, why didn't Mr. Cooley, your attorney, say anything? And again, I am not a person who faints, but I'm telling you, I was inches from fainting. I really just thought, oh dear God, it just was like, what am I going to do? And then I have a thing where I go, Tori, get it together. That's my thing. No matter what, Tori, get it together. And so I'm like, Tori, get it together. And then I think about it for a minute and I go, okay, this is no offense to Mr. Cooley, but the fact of the matter is, I am OT3. So I know this confidential material. Mr. Cooley does not. And at that point, all the executives, Miscavige, all these other guys, they all jump up. I'm OT3. I'm OT3. I'm OT3. They all, so they backed me up basically at that point. But anyway, it was just an interesting, weird thing. But I handled it. I did. It was really. And Yachty came over to my house that night with the transcript because he was working in the back room with the transcripts. And he hands me the transcript for that day. And he goes, here's your OT8. And I said, what are you talking about? And he goes, well, in order to get off OT7 and get onto OT8, you have to do a huge contribution of some kind. And this is your contribution. You can just put it away, and when you need it, this is it. So there you go. Anyway, okay, so I think Scotty was acting to get some response. He was acting to get some response? When? When? And what are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. 220 here, but also 420. There you go. Happy Mother's Day as well. Thank you, Nick. Intellectual disagreements shouldn't bring hate. Exactly. You look like Joan Rivers. I guess that's a compliment. All right. Um, Comment. I visited Hollywood 25 years ago. This is Laura Lee, and was completely turned off walking by Celebrity Center. I remember was on the corner more than one Scientologist hounded me. I didn't give in, kept going. Good, good. I was on staff there for a short time. Not very long at all, because they kicked me out of the Sea Org because I have epilepsy and take medicine, and they said I can't take medicine and be in the Sea Org. So then they had NSO, which was at Celebrity Center, which is non-Sea Org. So I joined staff there for maybe 5-6 months. I was that, and I was an auditor. And then they canceled that. So then I went to AO and I was the NSO there. And that's where I met Stacy, actually, who ended up helping me get out. Why wouldn't they want everyone to know about Xenu? Because if they knew about Xenu, do you think they'd pay the money that they have to pay to do it? It's a bunch of bullshit, and they know it. Hubbard knew it. I'm sure he did. He stole it from somebody else. You have to remember, Hubbard stole everything, so he didn't really come up with anything himself. And he didn't want people to know about Xenu because if they did, they'd never do it. I mean, who's going to walk in and pay for that? I mean, you could say you would, but I highly doubt it. Hello, how is your night going? It's going great. It's going really good. Okay, now wait. I got to get back here in just a second. Okay, Joan Rivers. So that's why they wouldn't want people to know about Xenu. When you are the winner of every story, when you're the winner of every story and just a random person in the crowd of a courtroom, but then the judge says your attorney didn't say something, It's all contradictory farce, apparently. I don't know. I don't know. When you're a winner of every story, well, I'm telling you stories that are fun stories that work for me. I mean, I'm not saying I'm a winner. I'm just saying they worked and it was unusual stuff that worked. And just a random person in the crowd of a courtroom. Well, I wasn't, I'm just trying to say I wasn't on the jury. I wasn't an attorney. I wasn't a paralegal. I was a person that they put in there. Scientology wanted me in there for that. But then the judge says, your attorney didn't say something. It's all a contradictory farce, apparently. Mm, I I think it was probably confusing to the judge. It's like, well, why isn't Mr. Cooley saying anything? But when you think about it, see, you never did OT3, so you don't understand what I'm talking about. But if you know on OT3, it's very confidential. Only the people that do it understand it. And I mean, you can read about it now. You can go over to Xenu.net and read the whole thing in writing, what he says about it. But I'm just saying doing it is a little different than reading about it. And I just felt like, I was seeing something that he might not be seeing. But you're I get it if you think it's contradictory farce. Hello, how is your night going? All right. They want everybody to know about Xenu, but only after charging you an arm and a leg and a kidney at $1 million for the privilege. Yeah, it's very true. I mean, they really, that is a big confusion that a lot of people have. They think everyone knows about Xenu from the minute they get in Scientology, and that is not true. They don't know about it till they're on OT3. That's when you find out about it, and not until. So they only want people to know about it who are on OT3. So I don't know that that's true that they want everybody, because if you're not going to go up the bridge, you have to be invited onto OT3. So if you're not going to go up the bridge and be invited onto that level now, it's not going to happen, and they know it. And you've got to pay the money as well because the police response was so slow. Okay, I missed something there, but yeah, it was slow last night because it's a business and you have to pay to know the truth. Most religions, you can find out the core beliefs exactly right away. Nick Martin, the judge called everyone out of the courtroom but me. I didn't say that. The judge called everyone out of the courtroom but me. I didn't say that. I didn't say the judge called everyone out of the courtroom but me. Oh, I see what you're saying. He called the jurors. He didn't call everyone. He called the jurors. And he said to the jurors, please, everyone leave the room. I need to talk to her. So that's what he said. It wasn't everyone in the courtroom, it was the jurors. And not two sentences later, after I said it to him, everyone started jumping up and agreeing. Okay, you've got the jurors who are over here. And they're, let's say, over on this side. There's the jurors. And they're in 3 rows. And if you've ever been in a courtroom, that's what they are. Over on this side, in the courtroom, are people that are just people, journalists, different things. And there were these Scientologists. So, yeah, the Scientologists started jumping up and saying they weren't agreeing. They just said they're OT3. Thank you. My common sense left me for a minute. Okay. Yes, on the money. Okay. I'm in San Diego. The weather is nice. How is it where you are? It's very nice. It's starting to turn into spring. Now Tori giving it to me. Yes, Tori, the money slipped my mind about Xenu. I know it's tricky. Fluffer Squirrel UK. They need the sunken cost fallacy. In effect, Oh, God. Bef- Before they bring. I know, I have this guy blocked and now he's calling me and talking to me. No, I'm not going to lift up the phone, Chris, if you're listening to this. It seems like the Scientologists target people who don't know English. Okay, just a second. It's kind of amazing to me when you don't want to talk to someone, that's it. It's like I've already explained this guy. No, I don't want to talk to you. It seems like the Scientologists target people who don't know English. Now they're doing that because they've been through the English community. So now they're trying to target other countries and the young people, a lot of that. My friend who isn't fluent in English was almost scammed by them. I was thankfully there to help him. Thank goodness. Yeah, first stream. I don't know what that is. Hi, Tori and Chad. Hey, hi. All right, Jessica told one of them to give you your $1 million back. Good, good. Scientology sounds like a popularity contest now. Not really. It isn't. It's just a group of people that got together and originally when I started in 1969, Hubbard was still working stuff out. And so it was sort of like, okay, we'll go along with it. Most of us, a lot of us, were hippies and there were professors that were in it and writers and musicians and different things. And we were going along with it. That's just the way it went. I think many Scientologists never do OT3, so many don't know about Xenu. Exactly. So saying something to them about Xenu would make no sense to them. That is so right, Sophie. It is so correct. And I hear people yelling about it all the time. And it's like, these people don't know what you're talking about. And I know from being inside, Scientology goes, do you honestly believe these people out in the street yelling about something? I mean, they don't know anything about our church. They don't know anything about it. So just, let's move along. And if the person has a problem with it, then they have to go through their own little steps. But anyway, okay, my father and both had security clearances with the government. Whenever he had dental work or surgery, I had to attend to his going in and out of anesthetics because I could hear what he might say. Wow, that's spooky, YRB. That's kind of spooky. That is. Scotty was so dramatic because the police weren't responding. I know. I know. It was really scary. It was. He was scared for his life. If it's a call for alleged hate talk in chalk, they come in 5 minutes. I know, that was pathetic. I was there for that. And it was like, this is hate speech. And they're out there taking all these photographs and everything. They did nothing with Scotty. The guy stood there writing out this little card. And I said, what are you doing? It's like, this guy needs protection. It's like, oh. Okay, so I guess there's a lot of trolls tonight. Tori, we have your back if anyone harasses you. Thank you, Gretchen. All right. Thank you, Love It, for helping me and for Sophie for being moderators. I really appreciate it. And I'm gonna have to go to bed because we've been on for almost 2 hours. Please just say I can't do sub only. Okay, okay. I think you're talking to them. Is Scientology a cult? Look it up in Google. You can always Google things if you don't know what it is. Google's got, and YouTube. YouTube has everything you can ever need. All right, you're welcome for the stream. Thanks for being here tonight. Have a wonderful Mother's Day to all you mothers and to anyone who has a mother. Please make sure to call her and wish her happy Mother's Day. All right, nighty night. Good night. I love you guys. Cheers. Ooh, sorry.